Hello, fellow lens creators from, oh god, I feel so weird doing this. I'm just going to show you how to make the floor is lava and how to use the whole new machine learning, ground segmentation, everything like that. So it's relatively simple if you know what you're doing. There's not any complicated coding, anything like that. All I did was grab some textures. So I made some of these textures myself. Like I found this one online. I made this one, but you don't. We only use two of them. So I took a lot of stuff. It's just a lot of experimenting. So I grabbed this one from literally. If you go to Minecraft Lava, if you look at Minecraft Lava and go here, there's a little thing, and you just click Save Image As, and it will save it as a GIF image. And you pop that right in here, and that's what you get, that animated kind of lava from the back. And this one I thought I could do something cool, but it ended up making my filter 9 megabytes instead of the 4, which it should have been. So that's why I didn't use that. And then these are just some overlays I tried to use that just didn't end up working. And these are the particles that you see flying around, which I will get into how I did after. So first, what you literally don't need to touch any of these, until you get to the particles. So what you have to do is click on materials, go to ice parallax, which is the default right here. So this one's checked off. If you uncheck it and check this one, it'll change it to the different floors that are default in there. This one I already edited, but so ice parallax. And what I did was just disabled the ice post effect and the snow particle, so it's only this ice parallax. And then I went into ice parallax, and so you can see these two are disabled right here. And then I put the base texture as the lava anim, which is the animated lava, and then I put it as mirrored repeat. And so what that means is that the lava is when it's tiled, it's mirroring against the one to the next to it. It's both left and up and down, left and right and up and down. And that's what gives it kind of the floating, like, wavy effect. If you look at it, it kind of looks like it's like undulating. And so that mirror is what gives it that effect. I just put the tile density up to 5, so it gives more of the tiles. You can change that, but if you just do that, it just looks like 1. So I put it all the way up, so it looks like a lot of them, and it's really moving. I added some roughness, so you don't get that shine to it, like that. And so I just put the roughness up a little bit, and that was literally it. There's nothing else you need to change. You just need to put in your textures, and this normal texture is, I renamed it because I had edited it, but really all you need to do, so you see this is really the default texture. So ice realistic base is this one, and that's all you need to pop in. I just did some editing to see if it would change anything, and it didn't. I changed the color to orange, but I think it just automatically changes the normal texture to black and white. Don't take my word on that, but that's my experience. So I just popped it in and it worked. So that's all you need to do. And to get to this project, you go File, New Project from Template, and then go Machine Learning, and then Ground Segmentation. And then you just do the edits all right there. And just to make it a little more realistic, give it a little more feel, and make it kind of more like Minecraft, which wasn't really the vibe I was going for, it just kind of happened. I took a camera right here, made it orthographic, so it's right here, this one. And you can see in front of it, I have some particles, so I put them as a child, these two are called children. This is the parent object, so these are the two child objects. I put them as children of the camera, so wherever the camera moves, so do the particles. So they'll never leave your screen, and it'll always look like they're there, because if you don't do that, then the particles will only stay in one spot in the 3D space, and they won't move with the camera. And so that was my workaround for that. So I took a GPU particle preset and duplicated it, and then made the first one particle emitter and duplicated that and just put in the second one. So the first particle emitter was the little fire. So these little fire bits right here. So it just looked like some fire coming up, and the only things I edited were the amount, which I made them 100, which is half as much as the little ball of fire things. And I made the spawn box negative 200 to 100, which is what you see here. So that is 100 and that is 200, I believe. But it just works for what I wanted. And then I changed the velocity. So all these are negatives, so that means they can go in any direction in a 360, in a circle or sphere. And then I made these all positive, so they could go, so these can go any direction, down, left, or backwards, and these can go any direction, right, up, or forwards. And then I didn't change any of this stuff. I removed some rotation for the flames because it didn't look good when they were turning. And I just adjusted some of the sizes just to make the proportions look good, because the fire texture is twice as tall as it is wide, and when both of them were one, it looks squished, so I just changed them. And then the second one, same thing, I just made them a little more powerful moving around and added this 2 in just to make it a little random. And then I kept the rotation of 1, -1 to give it that little effect, I don't know, just to give it a little more texture. And then I changed these sizes right here, and that was it. I made these 200 and same spawn box, so they're double as many particles here as the fire ones. And as you can see in the back, these fire ones make up a little more, it gives it some depth because they're smaller, so it looks like they're further away or closer to the lava or whatever, when in reality it's the same, really the same particle. And same thing with these little circular dudes, that they're closer, they look closer because they're bigger, and some of them are, but it just gives that kind of like depth feel along with everything else. And that was it. That was all I did. Not too difficult. If you have any questions, just text me in the group chat, whatever. But I think there's a long way to go with this ground segmentation stuff. It still doesn't work perfectly, but it's pretty solid. Yeah, like look at this. It's kind of rough, but you know, it is what it is. It'll work one day. That's just scary. But you can see how it looks like it's kind of moving up and down because of that mirror. You can see like it's waves of lava. So that's what I was going for. So yeah, that's it. Feel free to do your own. Change some textures. You don't really need much. Doesn't have to be that complicated. And if you really want animated textures like I have, just go to Giphy.com and you can make your own. This is my Giphy. A lot of mine are private because those are what I use for my filters. But just go create and then choose like a bunch of photos of whatever you want, and then like slightly change them, and it will make an animation, and you just pop that in, and everything will look animated from there. So yeah, good luck on your own filter making. Text me if you have any questions. Thank you.